I borrowed money from my parents to get into the first one, 2007 through 10. All of my real estate going. Learned my lesson there. I'm just looking
Yeah,
for good groups to pitch deals to, find money and support.
that's why collaboration and partnerships are so critical.
Just getting into it. I'm
Okay.
a learn by do kind of guy.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you today? Having a
I'm
good
doing good,
event?
man. Yeah, thanks for coming on, being a part of it, learning and all that stuff. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? And trying to figure out, where you're at, where you want to go, and all of that. So, have you done? I think you've done one or more deals, right? From what I understand.
Yeah, I've had multifamily before, but that was completely done the old traditional way. Get a loan, qualify, buy it, fix it, hold it. Lost
Was
it
that
all in
all
the
with your own
downturn
money,
back
or
in.
did you syndicate
I
that?
I borrowed money from my parents to get into the first one, paid them off in a refi, and then proceeded to lose everything in the downturn, 2007 through 10. All of my real estate gone. Learned my lesson there. Now I do sub two, buy single family homes all over the country, and wanting to do one deal instead of 20 deals a year.
I hear
So
you. I
I'm
hear.
pivoting, and I've been studying for a while now. So I know mostly what to do. I'm just looking
Yeah.
for good groups to pitch deals to, find money and support, that kind of
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah. So being in, kind of looking for markets, right? Which market are you in?
I am in
Meaning, where do you? I guess
well,
where do you live? Maybe that's a better
I
question.
live in I live in Carmel Valley, California, right near Carmel,
Okay. So,
Monterey, Seaside. Beautiful
gotcha.
area,
Yeah.
high dollar value, low cap rates, low cash flow on single families, on everything. So I buy all over the country. I identified, how you said the top 75 MSAs. I've got it down to, I think, where's my notes? There they are. I'm looking in about one, two, three, four, five, six. I'd say about 15 different
Yep.
MSAs.
List off a
Raleigh,
couple of them
Charlotte.
for me that are kind of at the top there. List off a few.
I love North Carolina, South Carolina just to visit. They have some of the highest growth rates in some of these areas. Raleigh, Charlotte, Nashville, Orlando, Myrtle Beach, Ocala,
Which airport do you fly out of from where you're at?
Monterey.
Monterey.
Generally, if
Okay.
I'm going international, I go to San Francisco or San Jose.
Yeah. So what I would be doing, because those are top MSAs you're talking about, I would find out where can you get a direct flight from Monterey to which one of those top 15 you're looking at. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because when I went from California, I would nix any East Coast stuff because that's multiple time zones. I'm saying just when you start, I'm talking for your first
Yeah.
couple deals. Okay. Because that's going to keep you a 2 to 2.5 hour direct flight since you're going to be doing out of state investing out of California into the Midwest,
Yeah.
likely. Obviously Arizona's right there too. Great market. It's just, it's different, right? Tucson and Phoenix are good. So that's closer to you. But after that, you're going into the Midwest. And so
Yeah.
I would be looking where of those markets can you get a direct flight into, but any of the top markets in Texas, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, anywhere up through Missouri, Kansas City, anywhere up through the middle part there, St. Louis, into the upper Midwest. As far as Nashville, you can go 3 hours direct into Nashville, but that is about as far as I would go on your first deal where you have a direct flight,
Yeah.
just for logistical purposes to get in and out. Right. To give you an example, when I'm flying out of San Diego, because I have, home in San Diego, second in Nevada and Las Vegas area, and then we have a second office headquarters. And so back and forth, it's direct flights. And it just helps out when you're starting, where you're not living in airports, man. Trying to keep you out of living in airports and being able to get there and back, because I can get on a plane first thing, Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, fly out, I'm on the ground. And, then I can tour and do everything I need to do and hop on a plane and I'm back, not same day, but within 24 to 48 hours. And I'm direct flights. So that way, you're not bunny hopping around airports unless you absolutely have to.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. Those are just the logistical things that I thought of before we did this. So Kansas City was a direct flight, Texas direct flight, Oklahoma City direct flight, all of those things. And that just helps with keeping yourself alive.
Yeah.
and not getting like crazy. This is crazy. I'm living in airports, right? So that's going to be first and foremost. And then, you're looking for the population growth, job growth, median household income, and then looking for deal flow, right? You want there to be enough deal flow and growth so where you can actually see enough of these 10 to 30 unit deals coming
I put my
through.
numbers into Ocala and there was nothing.
Yeah, so it's just looking for that because it's going to be key. But yeah, Oklahoma City's a good little market. Tulsa's good. Kansas City and around Kansas City, anywhere within 25 miles of those major metropolitan areas, MSAs, as they say, anywhere within 25 miles of them. Because you want to be within ideally 25 miles so people will still live, right? 25 miles in, right?
Yeah.
So that way, just from a job growth and recessions and stuff like that, because if you get into a recessionary period, everybody flocks to the job centers. So as long as you're within 25 miles of that job center, someone could still live in your apartment building and drive into the more urban city per call, right? So you just want to think of these things. It's going to get you better financing, better lending. It's going to be easier to keep occupied, all the above.
Yeah.
So I would say any of those MSAs and within 25 miles of them, you're good to go. And then because you're in California and you're having to do this travel game a little bit in the beginning, be within a direct flight. And that would be kind of determining that MSA game. That would be my recommendation. No different than how I did it when I got started. Any questions for Brent as you're kind of hearing his situation? Any questions for Brent? Because this is the type of thing that happens first thing, like when you start learning this, is setting up your market, right? And probably it starts with 3. So the way it kind of starts is everybody understands from high level, right? Come in, you set 3 markets that you're interested in, and we're going to narrow it down to 1. And then you're going to hone in like a ninja, and you're going to go after it, and you're going to nail the first deal. And that's typically the first process. And then once that happens, if we have to expand on that, right? Let's say, we're month or 2 in and we're not really getting the flow we want, we can expand from there and get into a couple other areas. But some of those logistical things are important, right? Direct flights, where you coming from, stuff like that. Because in the beginning, meaning your first deal, I call it sprints of time. So in the beginning, you're just finding, analyzing, writing offers, right? And then you're going to lock up your first deal. Then there's going to be a sprint window for 90 days, right? Where you're probably going to be out, if you're having to travel, right? You'll probably be out to that property twice before you close the escrow. And then once you close it, there'll be a sprint for about 60 days post-close until the property management company begins to take over correctly and start to run things to where now you can visit that property maybe once a quarter. And then after that, right, maybe you're doing some renovations, maybe not, but let's presume you're doing some renovations. You'll obviously visit the property maybe once a quarter or once every other month, depending on once you get the momentum going. And then you're going to get to a point where you may visit the property once a year, but you're going to be in like these little sprints. So it's just kind of right in that beginning phase of in escrow, right, for 60, 90 days, then you close. Then you have like a 60-day window post-close. You're just watching things closely, making sure everything's getting up and running and management companies doing what they say they're going to do and so forth, right? And then you can be a little bit more hands-off. And then you're just meeting with that PM company once a week to go over some of the ownership reports and stuff, seeing where things are going. Another thing we do to give everybody peace of mind, if you're investing in properties not in your area or not in your backyard and you can't go get in a car and go see it every single day, is we put cameras on all of our properties. So we have Lorex cameras on every single one of our assets. So I can pull up my phone right now and I can see everything, what's going on. I love it because if a contractor tells me they're on site, I'm like, really? Doesn't look like you're on site, right? You can call out some BS.
Step out in the main foyer and wave.
Yeah, step out in the main foyer and wave. We have a camera inside if we have a leasing office, right? There's a camera inside the leasing office. So that way staff, I'm at work. You sure about that one? So stuff like that. But they're Lorex camera systems and they just hook into the internet and it all is on my phone. So I can pull everything up in real time and I can watch and see anything. It just gives you peace of mind, especially if, you get into any weather or any issues, I don't know, there's fires in the area, whatever it may be, it's just nice to be able to see a video, so stuff like that. But These are all the little nuance things, that we're chatting about here. So, but that should kind of get you moving in that direction and choosing it. And then, like you said, trying to find people to connect with, collaborate with, raise capital, find deals. I mean, that's all part of it. And I would say it's more important in multifamily than anything, which is why we even created this community. Is that I know how powerful and how important it is because I haven't done it alone. We're not buying 100, 200 unit deals alone. It just doesn't happen. Yeah. And I would say once you hit 50 units, north of 50 units, you're not the only general partner on the deal. Yeah. So once you hit 50 units or more, you're probably general partnering that deal, right? And so that's why collaboration and partnerships are so critical. But in the beginning, yeah, that 10 to 30 unit window, you can be the main general partner. You can take it down and then bring in a few other people, but you're the one kind of running the show and controlling it. Yeah, people put in some emails and stuff there too to kind of share. So that's cool. Any other kind of questions on that? So it sounds like kind of just picking out the MSAs, and are you getting a little bit of paralysis by analysis or analysis paralysis deals?
No, I've been doing this a long time. I'm pretty good at identifying what I want and then just getting into it.
Okay.
I'm a learn by do kind of guy.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, yeah, thanks for kind of joining us and so far, and we'll have a great day tomorrow. Finishing up, going in through the kind of the management side of things. That's a key component, right? Is once we've gone through finding and analyzing and those steps for that, right? The financing and capital side. Tomorrow, we're going to be going through the due diligence and the closing process and the importance of that. And then, hey, how do you hire the property managers? This way, you're not dealing with the toilets and tenants every day, because, you have what you're doing now that's generating the income currently, right? And at some point, you may want to exit that. But obviously, you need to produce that income right now while you're doing the multifamily game and making this kind of transition process.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, yeah, thanks for coming on, doing a little coaching with us.
I appreciate it. I'm learning little things here and there, and I really appreciate every little thing I get. It's awesome.